I'm off to run some errands. Please tidy up this place. Wow, how did you guys do it?
We got cleaners.
Cleaners?
You know it, Dad.
Cleaner, it works.
Coming up next on Plus TV, Plus News. Join our news team for half hour of local and national news. Plus News, informative, balanced, accurate, and current.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. They are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Screws Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Gaborel gunned down in Belmopan. The Belize Chamber of Commerce sounds the alarm on BTL's potential acquisition of Smart. BSCFA and BSI signed addendum to extend their commercial trade agreement by 1 year, and police make arrest in New Year's Eve murder of Keith Logan. These stories and more coming up next on Plus News. Stay tuned.
This newscast is brought to you through the courtesy of Builders Hardware, your home improvement warehouse.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
When working with sheetrock, you need screws that give you quick penetration for a speedy, stable installation. Best Screws, fast frame and fast finish drywall screws are specifically designed for you. Engineered by Best Manufacturing, Best Screws makes every job faster and easier. These screws offer reliable performance with a superior hold. You also save money due to Best Screws affordability. They are cheaper than the leading brands. Get the job done quickly without compromising on strength. For all your drywall installations, get Best Screws Fast Frame and Fast Finish. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Welcome to Plus News for Thursday, January 8th. I am Nevia Ramos. A routine workday ended in deadly violence on Wednesday when a Belmopan delivery worker was gunned down while trying to protect his company's property. 55-year-old Mark Gaborel was fatally shot after two armed men targeted the delivery truck he was in outside the Sunny City supermarket. Journalist LJ Wade files the following report.
Started out as a routine Wednesday evening for Belmopan resident 55-year-old
pause
Mark
this.
Gabriel turned into tragedy after he was targeted by two gunmen. Gabriel, an employee of Caribbean Chicken, and one of his colleagues were cleaning the freezers inside the Sunny City supermarket as they would normally do on Wednesdays. When they were finished and got in their delivery truck to leave the establishment, they were accosted by two armed men on a motorcycle. Gabriel, in an attempt to secure the company's assets that were inside the truck, locked the door, but the gunmen shot out the driver's side window, fatally injuring him. Gabriel had been working at Caribbean Chicken for almost 3 years when the incident occurred. According to the manager, Gabriel was one of their best workers.
Mr. Mark Gabriel was a really responsible person, a person that I could depend on every area of the work, and he was very responsible. For the time that he worked with us, sadly he went to be with the Lord, but nevertheless he was very, very responsible. As manager, I very often tell them, cash and truck have no value beside your life. Whatever they want to take, just give it in, make them take it. And Mr. Mark was one of that person that he had that in himself, and that he often tell me, boss, if I have to give everything, I tell her, give everything. And he sadly come to the point that they never request money, they just shoot. And very, very sad. I mean, for us, as a company and as a group of, as a team, you really touch me hard, and in the sense that, he was very responsible.
Targeting delivery trucks for cash appears to be among the crimes being reported with increasing frequency, and this wasn't Gabriel's first time being targeted. But regardless of knowing the risks of driving a delivery truck, Gabriel opted to not travel with a firearm. According to Gabriel's sister, Fiona Jones, she had often urged him to leave the job for a safer line of work.
This happened to him sometime last year. He did get held up somewhere in Tigertown, and fortunately, nothing happened at that time. I think they did rob like $600 from him, and every single day I would tell Mark, quit that job, get a different job, go to a call center or whatever is easier. But he was really passionate about that job. He really loved it. He was an exemplary employee. He would go to work at 5:30, and he would be the last to leave. So he was a really, really dedicated employee.
What do you remember him telling you when you brought up security concern?
No, he would never. He can't. His clients depended on his customers. Depended on him so much, and he was so. He could not let them down. So that was he really loved his job, and I because when you love what you're doing every day, it doesn't feel like a job.
Following the murder, attorney at law and longtime friend of Mark Gabriel, Arthur Saldivar, took to Facebook to chastise the slaying. In hopes of doing his part in trying to bring the perpetrators to justice, Saldivar took to the streets of Belmopan, knocking on doors, trying to ask residents if their home cameras captured anything that may be able to assist the police department.
Mark Gabriel was, to me, a lifelong friend. And he was one of those persons in the community that always lend a helping hand, especially to those less fortunate. He grew up a life of privilege. His father had a big business, and despite that, he was very humble. And later in life, he became a delivery truck driver. But we are seeing that they are obviously being targeted, persons in that particular line of work. We're on the street where I understand the assailant made his escape, Garber Creek Street. And a number of persons on this street have surveillance cameras.
He was an exemplary dad. He would take off his last shirt for them. He was very proud of them. And he worked tirelessly to make sure that they had everything they needed. Mr. Mark was an honest, good man, good person, really, really good person. He was hardworking, honest, never getting a fuss with anybody. He was a good dad, a good family member, a good brother. He was like my best friend, you know.
Reporting for Plus News, LJ Wade.
The Belize Police Department has announced that 2 persons have been detained following the murder of 55-year-old Mark Gaborel. Yesterday, just after 4:30 p.m., Gaborel was leaving the Sunny City supermarket in Belmopan when he was accosted by 2 men on a motorcycle. According to police, the men wanted to steal the money that was inside the Caribbean chicken truck that Gaborel was in. In an attempt to escape the gunmen, Gaborel locked himself in the truck, but the assailants broke the driver's side window and fatally shot Gaborel before making their escape. Police say that after reviewing surveillance footage, they have detained 2 persons.
So far in this investigation, police have made some progress. There are persons in detention, and as more information is gathered, that will be shared with the public. The indication so far suggests that the motive in this incident was indeed a robbery. As a part of this investigation, footages are being retrieved from all surrounding areas, and those footages have been of useful help to the investigation.
Police believe that the motive for the murder was robbery. The Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry is raising concerns over the potential acquisition of SpeedNet Smart by Belize Telemedia Limited. For several months, reports have indicated that BTL is preparing to acquire Smart along with Centaur, Central Television and Internet, and Southern Cable Network, with the transaction reportedly in its final stages, possibly set to be completed as early as this week. However, ahead of any final decision, the BCCI made it clear that it does not support the proposed consolidation. At a press conference held today, the Chamber outlined several key concerns, including a lack of transparency, potential risk to public funds, possible negative impacts on consumers and businesses, and what it described as a perceived conflict of interest.
The issue of BTL's past actions raise competition and consumer protection concerns. That was an issue for us years ago, and the potential for that reoccurring within the sphere of consolidation continues to be the forefront of our minds. Within a small market, we are unsure in terms of the sustainable competition challenges. The monopolistic pricings, reduced service quality, lower bargaining power for businesses. And so those are some of our key issues from the Chamber standpoint, should a transaction like this go through in its current and in the current platform, at least with information that we're made aware of, because there's nothing official from the either party's side or the government at this point. So our key concerns, as we have indicated in our release, having to do with transparency deficit, potential conflict of interest, risk of public funds, consumer and business impact. We're saying to the government, at least put the proper safeguards in place, whereby we are ensuring that we don't have issues with unfair competition, impact on the consumer. That we don't go back to the earlier days of BTL when there were issues having to do with monopolistic type behavior and impact on pricing.
The interim president of the BCCI, Giacomo Sanchez, further expounded on the perceived conflict of interest, stating that there seems to be a link between SpeedNet and persons connected to the government of Belize.
The perceived conflict of interest makes reference here to publicly reported ownership links between SpeedNet and politically exposed persons, create an unacceptable appearance of conflict, undermining trust in the process and raising legitimate questions about whether the transaction serves the public good or private interests. So I think we can say, to the extent that with what we've heard in the news in terms of questions directly to the Prime Minister, the familiar connection, and ultimately the Prime Minister has direct oversight over an entity such as BTL. So fundamentally any and he's the leader of government, of course. So any approval that proceeds, then necessarily that is where the potential conflict arises. I'm not sure that there's any other explanation to that.
Yesterday, on the 7th of January, an addendum was signed between the Belize Sugar Cane Farmers Association and the Belize Sugar Industries Limited to extend the existing commercial agreement between the two entities. The signing sets the path for a smoother start to the 2026 crop season, which is expected to begin in the coming weeks. The move follows ongoing threats affecting cane production, including the impacts of climate change and the spread of Fusarium disease. Today, we spoke with representatives from the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, who explained why they decided to sign on to the addendum.
It came about because we are seeing the situation with our farmers, and as you know, last crop was not a good crop because of the Fusarium, the millibug, and the other insects that were damaging the cane. So when we managed to see the problem that we had last crop, the damage was already done. This year we are seeing that the canes are a little bit much better. So our farmers are really looking forward to deliver that cane, because they and we wouldn't want that any infestation can come about and then they will be losing what they have at point. Because if you see the history, if farmers are unable to deliver their cane, then they are unable to make back their money they invested. So based on that, the committee, the board, took this to the farmers in the general meeting and the meetings we had on the different branches. And the farmers approved that we go forward and sign this agreement with BSI, on which we were proposing 3 and they came out proposing 1. We managed to in a friendly way, to sign this addendum yesterday, because we want the crop to flow. We want our farmers to do back their money that they invest, and we want that the North get the benefit of the industry as it has been usual.
The addendum was signed after months of tension between the two entities regarding the commercial agreement. Now that the commercial agreement between the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association and the BSI have been resolved, at least for another year, will this year's crop be better than last year? Last year's sugarcane crop was deemed as one of the lowest in the country's history due to the spread of Fusarium. According to the vice chairman of the BSCFA, Alfredo Ortega, this year's crop is shaping up to be better than last year's, as the effects of Fusarium seem to be fading away thanks to the government's intervention.
Through the Ministry of Agriculture, there was a first 500,000 installment that was granted for the control of the Fusarium when it was brought out by the experts and by CIRDE and the board that there was an infestation. Then the government came out with another 2.5 million to assist the farmers, on which not only farmers of the BSCFA but all farmers at large were assisted with that. And I think that there is still material for whenever the harvest starts, on which the plan is to intervene as soon as the harvest goes on. So we are thankful and we are grateful to the government that they gave that assistance, because it assisted our farmers at least in controlling the problems that we are facing in regards to, many of it was being said that it was the fusarium, but what we saw and what we have seen is that the mealybug and the frog hopper were the ones that were most damaging the cane fields. And with the intervention that was done, when it really, we can see now how the cane have transformed from yellowish that it was before to more a green leaf that it is at this point. So the cane is growing, and we believe that we'll be having a better quality than last crop. We believe that we'll be having some more cane than last crop. So the intervention and the assistance that the government did, we are very grateful. The BSCFA is very thankful for that assistance that was done for the farmers at large, not only farmers of the BSCFA, but for the industry, for the production sector.
We will be taking our first break for the evening and be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
You're about to get better, much, much better as a leader. We believe that you're not here by accident. We believe that every one of us will have the opportunity to walk out of here being a better leader than when we walked in.
Whether you're young or old or whatever it is, excellence requires you to say, today is a new day that I could be better than I was yesterday.
How do we take a different approach? And when will we do it in a way to keep learning and growing with others?
Now let me just say this about your legacy. People will describe your life in one sentence, so pick it now.
GLS has not only transformed our team, but has also transformed how we care for our patients.
If you are a business leader and a CEO, you absolutely need to bring your entire team to GLS because it's actionable strategy. GLS is life-changing,
Inspiring,
inspiracional,
empowering,
transformative. Before you lead a people, you must seek to understand the people. Leadership isn't about being impressive, it's about being invested.
Every single person you lead knows they're capable of something more. What if it wasn't about finding more people, it was about helping people be more?
If you consistently focus on the right inputs, the right outcomes will eventually follow.
Leaders rise up in this hour and we see a better future and we compel people to come with us. That's what we do.
Yo, what's up, bro? Just Western Union mom's a little money using DigiWallet. Uncle in the States pays me too, same app using DigiWallet. Bro, this is too easy. I can do this from anywhere. No lines, no hassle, just easy. All right, gotta run, bro. Take it easy.
Driving around, particularly during this holiday season, can be quite an experience. Families are out shopping and the streets are buzzing with excitement. It reminds me that this season is all about connections, and it starts with how we treat each other, even on the road. When I'm behind the wheel, I always remind myself that being on the road is more than just following the rules. It's about looking out for each other and making sure we all get home safely to our families. This season, let's continue to be alert and be kind on the road. Be courteous, give way, and stay safe. A message from BEL.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquip fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Now so wide, let's begin. At Banquip, where dreams ignite. Gear up and let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
And we're back. Police have made an arrest in the New Year's Eve murder for 39-year-old Keith Logan. Logan was one of 7 people who was shot in Independence Village while socializing across from Michael Ashcroft Stadium in the village. Today, Staff Officer ASP Stacy Smith announced that they have since arrested and charged 21-year-old Santos Absalom Chirinos, a construction worker of Bella Vista Village, for the crime or murder and escaping lawful custody.
As a result of the investigation into the murder of 39-year-old Keith Logan and the injury of 6 other persons, which occurred on December 31st, 2025 in Independence Village, police have formally arrested and charged 21-year-old Santos Absalom Chirinos, a Belizean construction worker of Bella Vista Village, for the crime of murder. Chirinos was additionally charged for the offense of escape from lawful custody. Though Mr. Chirinos, in the company of his attorney, had turned himself into police after being informed that he was under arrest for the offense of murder, Mr. Chirinos shoved his attorney out of the way and bolted from the Independence Police Station. This information was immediately communicated. Mr. Chirinos was pursued. An area was cordoned off, and after a search, Mr. Chirinos was located on the veranda of an unoccupied property. Additional charges are expected to be levied against Chirinos in relation to the other persons that were injured in the December 31st incident.
San Ignacio police have arrested and charged 3 men in connection to the December 15th robbery and beating of 72-year-old Roy Waite, 20-year-old Leon Coleman, 21-year-old Joseph Gentle, and 20-year-old Randolph Hyde have all been arrested and charged for accosting 72-year-old Waite on Burns Avenue in San Ignacio and stealing several items from him.
Police have formally arrested and charged 20-year-old Leon Nelson Coleman, 21-year-old Joseph Joel Gentle, and 20-year-old Randolph Delton Hyde, all of San Ignacio Town, for the crime of robbery. These arrests follow police's investigation into the robbery of 72-year-old Roy Waite, which occurred on the night of December 15, 2025. Mr. Waite was walking on Burns Avenue when he was approached by 3 individuals who assaulted him and stole from him some food, a small amount of money, and a cell phone. Additional charges are expected to be brought against these individuals in relation to the injury that Mr. Waite received during the course of this incident.
Police are investigating a house fire that caused extensive damage in San Narciso Village, Corozal District on Wednesday morning. The blaze was reported around 9:50 a.m. when officers arrived to find a 25 by 30-foot concrete house fully engulfed in flames. The homeowner, 70-year-old Francisca Acosta, told police that she and her daughter were inside the residence when they heard a loud noise, shortly before noticing a fire in the living room, which spread rapidly. Both occupants escaped unharmed, but the house and its contents were completely destroyed. The property is reportedly insured for $111,000. Like clockwork, many Belizeans are trying to take control of their diet after a season of holiday binge eating. Crash diets and familiar weight loss rituals are gaining traction, and while some swear by these methods, nutritionist Robin Daly says people often overlook an easier route. That is by simply returning to sensible food choices.
My initial suggestion would be pace yourself. You won't want to do everything in 1 week, 1 day. So the first thing would be to try to reduce unhealthy foods. So what we would call eat clean. So processed foods, that would be things that are fried, things that are extra sugary, extra salty. Try to reduce those foods. Try to have a lot of water. Water is very important when you want to get back on a healthy track because it flushes out toxins out of the body and it allows your body to maintain as much as possible a natural state. So having a lot of water, having a lot of natural foods, reducing what we call processed foods, like I mentioned, trying to go back to basic simplified meals. So your fruits, your vegetables, even things like lean proteins, you want to, as much as possible, try to reduce fatty foods, sugary foods, salty foods. And processed, meaning foods that have had some type of processing in it. So if you want having foods that are very naturally produced from home, trying to, as much as possible, make your own meals, reduce portions. Many times, of course, over the holidays, we normally indulge. We have many meals for the day. We have lots of snacks. We have lots of candies, cakes, things that are normally high sugar, high fat, and in some cases, salt. When you look at ham, how we season our foods, also portions in terms of staples are carbohydrates, lots of rice, potatoes, breads, things like that. So we want to cut down all of that wide portion. We want to have more natural, and we want to have a lot of water as much as possible, and we want to reduce fat and reduce fried foods.
Daly also cautioned against harsh purging regimens, pointing instead to healthier options like clean eating, occasional detoxing, and plant-based meals to break away from redundant eating habits, helping to reset the body and support long-lasting results.
Some people would argue with me, so I think it's something debatable. It depends on who you're speaking to, because herbalists strongly believe in those things. As a nutritionist, I would encourage more natural detox. I do believe that you do need to flush out toxins, and one way to flush out toxins would be having a lot of water. So increasing water intake is very important, and even infusing water. So adding cucumber, lemon, things like that to your water. Those are ways also to kind of give your body a natural flush or a natural detox. I personally don't believe in having those clean out methods that make you be on the toilet all day. Other people would argue and say your body needs that. But I believe that once you're eating clean, your body will get rid of waste and toxins on its own. So having all that processed food out, having a lot of water, you need to drink a lot of water. Many of us don't drink a lot of water. We would more have coffee, tea, other fluids through the day, but literally just have a lot of water. I would say about 1 liter for the day. You will be on the bathroom a lot peeing, but that's fine. It's part of the detoxing method, and natural detoxes are what I would recommend. So things like lemon, also you have things like turmeric, different things that garlic related foods, things that that are natural plant-based and won't have any um, rigid reactions from the body, because I don't believe in the being on the toilet all day kind of way as a detox. That can have its own consequences, health consequences. So I'm very careful to recommend those to people. But lemon water, different fruit-based waters, those are fine. My suggestion would be, or my advice would be to try just to have a variety. Vegan is fine once you make sure that you are getting the nutrients that you need. Many times, people eat the same foods every day, and that's what we don't want people to do. Like every day you're having the same type of fruits, the same breads, the same thing, but having that variety. So even, for example, if you have access to getting some sweet potato, you have access to get some oatmeal, you have access to get a piece of breadfruit, you have access to get a different type of fruit, sour sap, whatever it may be, having that variety is where you get your different type of nutrients from. And as a extra insurance, it's always good to have a multivitamin. I do encourage that just to make sure you're getting the nutrients that you do need, since you're not eating a lot of animal foods. There are certain foods that animal products have that might be lacking in plant foods. So for example, some iron, some vitamin B12 that your body really needs, some minerals, but those could be found in the variety that I mentioned. So you might, like, for example, let's say spinach, very high in iron. So maybe if you are not consuming something like spinach, your iron supply could be low. You'll have to look for foods that contain iron. Beans does have iron. So it's just to make sure you have the variety so you could get all the nutrients you need. And as a backup, it's always good to take a vitamin. But if you're doing the variety, you should be fine.
We will be taking our last break for the evening and to be back with more news, so be sure to stay tuned.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Belize City, get ready for a safe and reliable e-taxi experience like never before. Building on the success of our e-ride bus service, we've heard your feedback, Belize City. We've seen your enthusiasm and how eagerly you've embraced zero-emission transportation in our community. Introducing the e-ride taxi, an electric taxi service, bringing you a cleaner, greener way to travel around our beautiful city. As part of the transformative Belize City e-ride program, this new service is another step toward modernizing our transportation system for a sustainable future. Looking to book your first e-ride taxi? It's super easy. First, download the Medriva app and register. Then, book your ride. Insert your pickup and drop-off location. Select e-ride, choose the number of occupants, and pick your preferred payment method. Confirm your ride and track your e-ride in real time as it makes its way to you. It's fast, eco-friendly, and designed for your comfort. So don't wait. Download Medriva today and let's drive Belize City towards a brighter, greener future, one e-ride at a time. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Give me the real milk, the number one milk, Dana milk, then love Dana milk. You can whip it cream, for Dana milk it is real, yes, Dana milk, then love Dana milk. All over Cayo and in San Pedro, Dana milk, then love Dana milk. Dana milk in the morning, Dana milk in the evening, Dana milk, give me Dana milk. Up north in Corozal, supermarket and them all, Dana milk, then love Dana milk. All over this land And in Belmopan, yes, Dano Milk. Give me Dano Milk. Say in Tangriga, down south in PG. Dano Milk, they love Dano Milk. You can hear this talk, cause it's in Orange Walk. Yeah, Dano Milk. I love Dano Milk. Dano Milk Powder. Probably the best milk powder in the world. Dano.
Driving around, particularly during this holiday season, can be quite an experience. Families are out shopping and the streets are buzzing with excitement. It reminds me that this season is all about connections, and it starts with how we treat each other, even on the road. When I'm behind the wheel, I always remind myself that being on the road is more than just following the rules. It's about looking out for each other and making sure we all get home safely to our families. This season, let's continue to be alert and be kind on the road. Be courteous, give way, and stay safe. A message from BEL.
Hey, babe, I need some cash.
Okay, right now I transfer some.
Short on cash? Make up the difference with V-Bucks. Transfer V-Bucks quickly and easily. Enjoy your shopping experience at V-Mart or any other Benny's entity and get rewarded today.
Mom, nothing fast, but how you do that just now?
V-Bucks?
V-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
And we're back. The Belmopan City Council has intensified its enforcement of laws prohibiting livestock within city limits, highlighting the recent capture of a horse found roaming in the city. In a public notice issued on Wednesday, January 8th, the council reminded residents that keeping, grazing, tethering, or allowing of livestock, such as horses, cattle, pigs, goats, sheep, and poultry within Belmopan remains strictly prohibited under municipal laws as a part of the renewed enforcement effort. The City Council also shared a photograph of the captured horse on its official platform, advising the animal's owner to come forward within 2 weeks to claim it. Officials warned that if the horse is not claimed within that time frame, it will be relocated to another facility in accordance with the law. The council says the action demonstrates its commitment to addressing long-standing concerns about stray livestock in residential and public areas. The prohibition is enforced under the Belmopan City Council Act, Chapter 86, which makes it an offense to drive or allow cattle on public streets, parks, or playgrounds without written permission. Offenders may face fines up to $200, be required to cover expenses incurred by the city, or face imprisonment of up to 1 month. The council also cited the Cattle Trespass Act, which allows for livestock found roaming or improperly tethered in prohibited areas to be seized and placed in a public pound or other suitable holding area. City officials emphasized that livestock within the city poses health, safety, and environmental risks, including damage to public property, parks, and green spaces. And that's the news. Thank you for joining all of us here at Plus TV. Good night and God bless. I am Navia Ramos.